Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman. You will recall at our pre-meet yesterday with you that I raised some issues that a member of the public had raised with us as councillors. Mr. Howes has prepared something that he could refer to. It was reference to overview and scrutiny and witnesses and call-in. So perhaps if Mr. Howes could put that addition in now as we're progressing with this.
Thank you, Chairman. If I can crave members' indulgence, there was an issue which a member of the public pointed out that perhaps there was a lack of clarity in the call-in procedure in terms of the right of the scrutiny panel to actually upwardly delegate its function in relation to call-in to council. So while there's a process set out for it on page 159, I think earlier on under the paragraph 15.0 on page 158, there ought to be a reference that the scrutiny panel does have that power. And what I'm suggesting is that somewhere probably before the paragraph F, we have a phrase which says that the overview and scrutiny panel may, instead of exercising the function of calling itself, arrange for the function to be exercised by full council. That complies with the law, but I think also it gives clarity, and it's quite pleasing that actually a member of the public is so interested to actually review our own constitution. Speaking to the peer review panel today, they've never ever heard of that happening in any other local authority. So.
Thank you. Councillor Curran, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Mr. Howes might possibly have answered this question already, but I'll go with the question that I was going to put, which again is page 159, which is reference F. There are in fact two reference Fs, so I'll do the bigger one underneath, which is the one I want to refer to. As actually a member of the overview and scrutiny panel, I'm a little bit concerned that the opportunity to refer a decision back to full council is being denied in this statement to fellow members. I think overview and scrutiny is a vital tool in ensuring that all matters concerning this council activities are transparent and correctly adhered to. Under the 2011 Localism Act, the original wording is correct and doesn't need to be altered. Other councils such as Ashford and Dover and Canterbury still have this in their constitution, and I don't think that overview and scrutiny can afford to lose any of its powers. So I feel that it's our democratic right to have this referral reinstated in item 15F, and that we continue to be able to refer matters to full council if the need arises. Therefore, I recommend council should adopt 11.2 so that we can amend. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Mr. Howes, please.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Yes, that does reflect the amendment I've already suggested to council, because you're right. Because we moved the word refer the matter, it should say refer the function, so that will be covered by the amendment put forward. And then the other point, you're right, there should only be one effing call-in.
Thank you, Mr. Howes. Thank you. Councillor Baker, please.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I'd like to go back to the effing calling again, please. Both effing calling as well. The first one, which refers to the clarification that you gave, I mean, whilst scrutiny has the power to refer, I think it's a great pity that it can only do that before it's debated it. I think it's a pity that scrutiny can't debate something and then decide that perhaps it should be a matter for full council to consider. I think that would be a very useful addition to our constitution. If that were lawful, you'll probably tell me it's not, but it's not. Regarding the other one, again, page 163 on the computer, but I think it's page 159, again, little f. This is about the fact that when there's call-in, that no witnesses other than persons who reported directly to the decision maker will be called in respect to the call-in. Now, I think this is a bit of a deficiency really, because one of the main reasons for bad decisions is as a result of insufficient or inaccurate or indeed misunderstood information. And I would have thought it's quite possible that new witnesses might help to make better decisions. So I wonder if you can explain why that can't be the case, because I do think it would really be a great benefit.
Thank you. Mr. Howes, please.
Yes, it's because calling is obviously an urgent item, so it's meant to be done quickly to respond to, because it halts the decision-making process. The second issue is about, by the time you've got to that point, you've already decided that it should be called in. And the third issue is about, if you had other witnesses then who are not part of the decision-making process, you'll be considering issues which weren't in the mind of the decision-maker. And the whole point is, you're meant to be reviewing the decision of the decision-maker, not the decision as you might have taken had you had more witnesses involved.
Councillor Ashby, please.
I'll come back. So I'm just seeking some clarity following on from Councillor Bayford. Am I correct in saying then that if it is called in and debated at scrutiny and then referred to full council, it cannot be re-debated at full council? Is that correct?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think what would happen, that as a preliminary point at any call-in which went to the scrutiny committee, the first decision they have to make is whether they wanted to exercise the function of scrutiny or ask council to exercise that function. What you can't have is double calling. So you either do it at the meeting, or you say, actually, this is such an important matter, such a wide breadth issue, or whatever grounds you have in mind, that it ought to be dealt with by council, and then therefore you simply ask council to undertake call-in on your behalf. The issue is you can't have two call-ins for the same matter.